All right, guys. Well, welcome back to another East Tennessee Group podcast. And today we thought it'd be really fun to answer a question that we get a lot, which is, what do you guys like to do in East Tennessee? So
I do get that a lot.
Yeah.
Out of town buyers are coming in droves, so I do get asked that a lot, and there's a plethora of things to do. There's a lot of people are drawn to the scenery, so there's a lot of hiking trails, a lot of lakes, stuff like that. I'm not a big outdoorsy person, but I can definitely speak to them, having 3 boys.
I always tell everybody that East Tennessee is such a cool place because there's something for everyone. Like if you like the city stuff, there's, downtown Knoxville, there's some stuff like that in Sevierville. If you're outdoorsy, whether it's hiking, boating, hunting, fishing, all of that's around. I mean, there's sports, there's concerts.
So I've heard about this place out in Oliver Springs, where you can take like your 4-wheelers. Windrock, that's right. And how far is that from Knoxville?
Everything's close to Knoxville.
Well, I figured it's like within like 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, it is. It's like 30 minutes out.
Okay, all right. I've had a lot of people mention that to me, and I've never been, but that sounds like a great thing to do. So
that's actually super cool. There's Windrock, and there's a bunch of different places, but there's Windrock, and there's also Royal Blue, which is up near Jacksboro. It's in, what do you call that little town?
La Follette?
No, it's not. It's Unida, maybe.
Oh,
yeah, probably should know that. Anyways, it's up near Jacksboro, but you can actually rent one of those side by sides, and I think it's like $350. And there's so many trails, and it's such a cool place because you can see elk, you can see black bear, deer, turkey, everything. And there's a little campsite there too, so you can like go up there and make a whole weekend out of it.
yeah,
that sounds awesome. What is that called?
Royal Blue.
Royal Blue.
Mm-hmm.
But Windrock too. People come and spend a whole week.
Oh yeah,
really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They do the 4-wheeling, and even if you're not in 4-wheeling, like when the weather gets warmer, there's concerts.
Yeah, they're doing one soon. I forget what they call it. It's a clever name. I wish I could remember. But yeah, you do have to get a permit. So either one of those places you go, like right when you pull up to the campground, there'll be like a little office, and you can go in there and they'll get you taken care of with everything.
Nice. Yeah. So you can kind of do it on a whim if you want to.
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One of our friend Carrie, her and her husband do that all the time.
Okay.
They just bought a side by side. So that's an excellent thing to do. If you want to just kind of do something different, you can go get muddy, do some camping, do some grilling, Yeah. What about, you're mainly in Sevierville. What are some of your favorite things to do up in Sevierville? I mean, obviously you have all the tourist attractions and stuff, but other than that.
So, obviously there's a couple of my favorite hikes, the shorter ones, kind of 3 mile and less kind of things. Abrams Falls.
My wife and I just did Abrams Falls.
Oh, really?
It was awesome.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah,
and it's not. It's a little bit of a challenge, but it's not that you have to be super fit and super healthy to do it. It's something that is for everybody. Everybody loves to get out and walk, so it's not like too challenging that you've got to kind of train for it. So I love some of those smaller little hikes.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite thing to do is to go tubing down the river.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So summertime, that is what we love to do. So we normally get season passes to a company called the River Rat. And what that means is we can go tubing at any time. And you just have to be in the water by 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So, we'll, middle of the afternoon, we'll decide, let's go do it. And we literally, everybody piles in the car and we just go and float down the river for a couple of hours. So I love to do that.
That is such a fun thing to do. When I graduated from Heritage, which is just right down the road.
Yes.
And I had all my friends worked at River Rat from one point or another. And so we spent a ton of time up there doing that. It was a blast.
Yes.
Yeah, great way to cool off.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it can be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say something else that's really cool to do, speaking of Abrams Falls, is you can fly fish through that entire park, all of Cades Cove.
Yes.
They did a big reintroduction of the brook trout, which is the only native trout in Tennessee, but it's a very highly sought after fish, because they're wild, they're native. You have to hike up these, crazy straight like Abrams Falls to get them. So that's really cool. And then also in Gatlinburg, they stock them all through the Pigeon River.
Okay.
So like you can be straight downtown Gatlinburg and catch really nice trout. So that's something fun.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So you're not into the touristy stuff?
Well, that's not strictly true. I mean, I'll be honest. We have raced go-karts. Okay. We've been a lot to Splash Country, which is the water park side of Dollywood. That's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. A lot of fun. And what I really love about Splash Country is that it's a very safe environment. So I have teens and younger, and we go there, we set up a base camp, and the kids go off by themselves. It's not the kind of environment where we feel we need to be hovering all over them.
Yeah.
So that's really a great thing to do. And I believe you cannot get alcohol at Splash Country, which takes out that whole element when you've got younger kids around. So for me, as a mom, that is fantastic. So we love to do that. And we do, the severe air, the trampoline, indoor trampoline place. We love that. They have like a Ninja Warrior course that my kids
Have you completed it?
No. But I can get up the wall. They actually have a wall. I can get up the wall.
The rock climbing wall?
Yes. No, not the rock climbing wall. It's one of those walls that like goes like this, and you
have to run. It's like a
and get
ramp
up.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yes. So I can do the wall. Yes. But I can't hang on. They've got these like big things, and you have to jump and hug it.
Like bear hug it?
Yeah. No. I can't do that. So yes. So that we love to do.
What about Seasons? You guys are there quite a bit.
Ooh, Seasons 101, my favorite restaurant in Sevierville. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely love it.
It's really good.
Yes, it is really good. Lunch, dinner, and during the summer they have the rooftop bar open.
Yeah.
I
What's
believe,
it called?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Is it the Sky Lounge?
I don't know, but if it's not, it sounds good.
It should be the Sky Lounge.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah.
But you can get great views of the whole of city of downtown Sevierville and the mountains from up in on the rooftop area. So yes, really great. And the thing I love about Seasons is that they change their menu, so they and I think it sounds obvious that it's with the seasons, but it literally is. But they change not everything, but there are just some seasonal favorites that they have on the menu. So, and one of my favorites is the fried green tomatoes that you cannot get during winter, but is on the menu in spring. So,
'tis the season.
Exactly. So, and they have great desserts, and they have really some pretty unique cocktails as well. So, yes, I do enjoy Seasons. Also, they have a really nice little outdoor area that's covered. So, if it's warm, I love to be outside. Obviously, hence the tubing down the river. So I love to do that. If I can sit outside at Seasons, then yes, definitely that's where I am.
Great service. I'm big on customer service.
Yes.
never not had great service.
Yeah, no, they are absolutely fantastic. Yes. So
Yeah.
so yes, and actually I will tell you, you were asking me a little while ago about date night. My husband and I did go on a date to Seasons 101. We never do date night, but he was like, we're gonna go, and I'm like, okay, this is where we're going. So yes.
My wife and I did a date morning there a while ago. We stayed up there at a cabin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Very nice.
So, Tammy, I think you were telling us that you and your husband like to go to hockey games.
Yes. So the very first hockey game I ever went to was on Valentine's Day.
Was it a fight night?
So it was definitely fun. It was an experience. And yes, absolutely. That is the kind of date night my husband and I do.
They have fun. So do you do ice bears?
That's where we went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my wife and I also did. We went to the wiener dog races. It's been a couple months ago, but it was so much fun.
Where were wiener dog races at?
And so during halftime, they bring out, and I'm not kidding. There's at least 100 of. Well, that's maybe exaggerated. There's at least 50 wiener dogs because they have like 4 or 5 rounds, and like it's a whole thing. And I guess if you bring your wiener dog, you get in for free or something.
Oh, geez.
And it's so popular. There's 2 now. They have 2 wiener dog nights.
It is super neat. So they do that, and then they do fight night. They have
characters.
They have all kinds of cool stuff. But we had a ton of fun. I've never thought that I was going to get into a hockey game, but my gosh, we were like screaming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a ton of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Hockey fans are the best because they just don't care. They just say whatever they want. It's like how everyone truly wants to be as a fan.
And there's a whole section of regulars that like heckle
oh my gosh,
the crowds and stuff. So it's fun to sit next to them. I mean, if you want it G-rated, then go on the opposite side of the arena. But
well, when we went, no one was cussing or anything. But like when they would like announce the names of the other team, they'd be like, "And here's Larry Smith," and they say "sucks." Oh, I love it.
And then the coaches, they're like, "He sucks too."
Yeah, he sucks. They boo the refs when they come out.
Yeah,
just a whole deal.
Fun. It's trashy fun.
It is trashy fun. Yeah, lots of fun. What about you, Cherie? What do you like to do?
So I have 3 mama's boys. So we do all things, like even Friday nights are family nights. So it's whatever the boys want to do. And they're into sports. So it's all things sports. So usually it's going to find new cleats or the newest gear and then going out to eat as a family. And so we shop and then we eat.
And where do you eat?
Place to eat.
All over. We're huge foodies, but we like ethnic places. And I would say a family favorite, minus Aaron David, my youngest, he does not like ethnic food, but he's so funny. He's like, I'll eat anything if it doesn't end in knees. So no Chinese, no Japanese.
Oh yeah.
Never heard of it.
But my family likes sticky rice. It's this Laotian, hole in the wall, local, family owned. You walk in and they know what you're going to order. They know how many ice cubes you want in your cup.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we love it there. And it's a fusion of Laotian and Vietnamese food. And so we love that.
And what's that called again?
Sticky rice.
Sticky rice.
It's across the street from West Town Mall.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And I love them. They're just the sweetest family.
The small little local places are the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's a huge family favorite. I have my middle son, and his girlfriend work at Dick's House of Sports. So fun fact, there's only 2 in the United States, and Knoxville got 1.
So that's not the same as Dick's Sporting Goods?
It is the same company, but House of Sports is supposed to be this big, elaborate.
Yes.
It's like Dick's on steroids.
Yes.
So the other one is in New York City.
Yeah.
They're opening more, but
Is this the one that's in West Town? Oh, okay, yeah. And they have like the golf thing up top or something? Like it's like Top Golf?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's actually inside the store, part of the store, because they expanded it out or whatever, didn't they? Yes.
It's right behind Longhorn.
Okay.
You can do birthday parties because they have an outdoor turf area. But the cleats, my son works in House of Cleats, and he said, I mean, the selection is awesome.
Oh, really?
Adult and youth. And and then it's 2 stories. There's a rock climbing center in there. There, like I said, there's outdoors. You could play soccer outside while, parents shop inside. And
Wow,
so
that sounds pretty cool.
I know.
Definitely worth a visit.
so that's neat.
That is neat.
Yeah.
But we like all things sports too, like hockey. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So much
So
fun.
you
is.
were talking about West Town Mall. The greatest place we found on date night was Knox Zach's house that's inside of the mall.
inside.
Yeah.
That's a newer thing.
Yes.
That's in
they
West
just
Town?
yeah, it's in West Town. And they just opened a couple of months ago. We had so much fun there.
Isn't there one in Blount County?
Maribel. Yeah.
I think that there's one in Midland Shopping Center.
Really?
I think. I hope I'm not wrong there. There's one in Alcoa somewhere. Yeah.
Did you check?
Because they had, oh my gosh, I wish that I didn't know this, but I do. There was an episode of The Bachelor where one of the chicks was from Knoxville and they went to that axe throwing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I didn't know that. But my wife makes me watch it. Okay.
And it was on 90 Day Fiance too. There's a guy from Maribel that took his date there. So it became popular because of those 2 shows. But yeah, they just opened that one in West Town.
They have one, I think they have one in Sevierville and one
Yeah.
in Pigeon Forge
Yeah.
as well, actually, because I actually work with quite a few local builders. And I called one of them the other evening and he's like, yeah, I'm throwing axes at the axe. I'm like, okay.
Is it hard?
It takes a little bit of practice, but I was really surprised I hit the bullseye a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And shocked myself.
Nice. Your husband was like, I better start being good now.
Yeah,
He was really good at it. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's been practicing.
that's so cool.
It's a guy thing. When we're in the garage, we just start throwing stuff at the wall.
That's cool. Yeah.
So Maribel has very famous restaurants like Walnut Kitchen, Foothills Milling Company, right?
Yes.
I think Chevy, you and Brian's favorite place to go is Aroma Cafe.
Oh my gosh.
I thought about that the whole way up here.
You should go by. It's a bit of a drive from here, but you can go up there and then you can hop on Pellissippi and come back. It's the best Cuban sandwich on the planet.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's really, really good. And like you were saying, I mean, it's a hole in the wall. Like when you walk up to it, you're probably like, man, I bet they failed every health score in America. But it's I mean, it's not a nice place by any means, but it is like
good.
a local legend. Like you go there, there's always a line, and it's really good food.
Wow.
Really, really good. And then Walnut Kitchen is awesome too. So in East Tennessee, there's the Blackberry Farms, which is like, I mean, it's just really famous for
Celebrities go to unwind.
locals can't afford it. It's just
Right,
all
yeah.
super rich people. So one of the chefs from there started it. And they do a seasonal menu as well. So along with the season, they do all
okay.
kinds of cool stuff. And their cocktails are amazing. Just everything is always really good. Have you guys been there?
No, we've never been there. We
You
want
should-
to try. Every
yeah.
time we try going, we had to have a reservation.
Mhm.
So call ahead.
Yeah, you can. Well, so you do have to have a reservation, but you can literally call on the way there a lot of
Right,
times.
yeah, I've done that. I've been, and it is really good. And yes, I've done exactly that, where we've just decided we're going and given them like 30 minutes heads up kind of thing, and
yeah.
got in.
Yeah, it's good. And then Foothills Milling Company is really nice. I think that's maybe the only 5-star restaurant in Maryville.
Yeah.
They did just start doing like a happy hour, so you can go and get like a cocktail and an appetizer, and it's not too crazy expensive. So it'd be a good way to go check the place out and see if that's something you're into.
Nice.
We went there a couple years ago, and they had such a crazy menu. Like I think I had venison and like
Yeah.
something else. Like it was wild.
That's
It
pretty
was
cool.
good though. It was really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, they bring you the fancy little bread, and you're like, I don't know what to do with this, but yeah. Put some butter on it, eat it.
Hungry.
Yeah. But that place was cool.
And then Oak Ridge is I like talking about Oak Ridge, and it's in my backyard where I live in Hardin Valley, and it's just got so much history, and we're history nerds too. The boys are all into that, and it's labeled Secret City because for years and years back during World War II, whatever, where they built the bomb.
It was World War II.
Okay, thank you. It was like all secret, like not even the governor knew it existed. And that's so neat to go and explore. And there's museums there. There's so many things that you can learn about Oak Ridge. And
Yeah, we've done a couple of field trips actually with the kids where we've gone there and seen the houses and all that kind of stuff. It's really interesting to see. Yes,
Wasn't there
absolutely.
a statistic where it was like at one point or another throughout history there was more geniuses in Oak Ridge than like the entire world combined or something crazy like that? Yeah.
And it's weird to see being in real estate. I can appreciate this. I knew this before real estate, but now there's like A houses, B houses, C houses.
Right. Yes.
So like the top dogs got to live in the C houses, which just gave you another bedroom.
Yeah.
I work with investors that we flip, and so I go in and I'll know exactly what the house looks like.
Right. Yes.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so A houses were typically, your labor workers. And so all their floor plans were the same.
Yeah.
And their streets are in alphabetical order. So it's pretty neat.
Yes. And the open floor plan, isn't that funny? Back then it was like, open floor plan was it.
That's interesting.
It's great to work with investors to see what they flip, the A, B's, and C's too.
Yeah.
Speaking of Oak Ridge, I love the little Melton Hill Park. I think that's such a cool area because you don't have to pay a single thing. You can go down there and there's trails for days right along the river. It's just really nice. And then there's that little spot where you can rent like kayaks and paddle boards and they do all the rowing competitions. I mean, there's tons of access if you want to fish. I mean, it's just a super cool little outdoorsy place, and there's always a ton of people out there.
And if you're a biker, Haw Ridge is like the mecca of all bike trails.
Is that like mountain biking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have your boys been into that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they said it kicks their butt. Kicks their butt. A lot of like scary accidents because those trails are not for the faint.
Right.
And so they have to pick the baby trails, but yeah.
In South Knoxville, there's a place, Iams, which is a great outdoor area as well. And they have just a very small lake. Well, it's you can actually walk or bike down to the Tennessee River, but on the other side they have a lake, and you can also get kayak. I think they have kayaks, and they may have paddle boards. I think that you can actually hire there, and they have great running trails, walking trails. It's really
it's very
and they're expanding on that too, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're doing it right. What is that huge housing center for the campus? Something Cherokee, maybe. I don't know. They're expanding on it. Anyways.
Okay. Well, I know that
or they're putting a new park. One of the other.
Okay. And there's zip lines and like a ropes course thing there called Navitat, I think it is. That's all part of it. And if you do go there, then you have to go to Sono Taco, which is the best place in South Knoxville for tacos and skinny margaritas. So
gotta be skinny.
And down the street is Commonplace Coffee, which is a neat little local coffee shop.
Right, yeah. And you know what? Across the road from Commonplace Coffee is the, now I'm going to get it wrong. I think it's the Fort Washington. And there's like you can actually go up there, and it's also it's historic because of a historic battle fought there. Cool. And you can learn a little bit of history, but you also look out. There's a viewpoint that overlooks Mead's Quarry, and Mead's Quarry is a little known quarry that you can go to, but you have to have all your own gear. So you got to have your own board or whatever. But I actually like to go swim there.
Oh, nice.
So it's a really nice, and I say little known, over the past couple of years, actually the city of Knoxville invested a little bit of money in it. What that did is brought it to more people's attention. So we kind of kept it quiet until then. But it's a great place to go and just hang out. So that's somewhere really close in, just South Knoxville.
Yeah. Well, speaking about swimming too, that's a huge part of what most folks do around here in the summertime because it gets so dang hot.
Yeah.
Go cool off in the lake.
Yes.
My wife and we hang out on Telco a lot. And that's probably our favorite thing to do in the summer. I mean, if I'm not, showing houses or writing up contracts, like I'm probably going to be in the water.
On the lake, yeah.
We like to go to Sequoia. They have the coolest marina. It's kind of like a little cabin, but they've got TVs. So if you want to watch ball games, they're always on there. They have really good food. Service is great. Nice cold beers. They have skinny beers too, I think. But yeah, that's one of our favorite things to do. And I mean, there's a lot of cool marinas all over. There's Lakeside Tavern, over in Concord. That's a wonderful place. There's I wish I could remember what the place was called in Choteau. It's like a 3-story place. Have you guys been there? Oh, it's like a 3-story, like older little deal. But they do live music and all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Glenmore City, they've got Calhoun's right there on the
Calhoun's,
river. That's gorgeous over there too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because on Fort Loudon Lake, there's a Calhoun's at the very beginning of Fort Loudon, and then at the very end is Calhoun's. They just own it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think, are we going to talk a little bit about what to do on the lakes and all about lake towns maybe next time? How does that sound?
Yeah.
Has anybody else got anything of their favorite places to go they want to add?
No, Knoxville and surrounding counties have breweries are popping up everywhere.
That's right, yeah.
These little street taco shops are popping up everywhere.
Food truck parks, yeah.
Yeah, there's a fancy one in Farragut.
Yeah.
So lots to do. Lots.
Absolutely.
Market Square is awesome. So all corners are covered as far as entertainment and fun things to do, and lots of nature here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. I'm talking about some of our favorite things to do in Knoxville. We're East Tennessee group of United Real Estate. We're close to everything but miles from ordinary.